Hello and welcome to How Not to Play, the channel where I play Pokemon badly. With the release of Chaos Rising, the newest Pokemon TCG expansion, I picked up a booster pack at my local game store to determine my next Pokemon Legends Z-A PackLocke. If you've never seen one of my PackLocks before, here's the gist. I can't level past the next promotion match, I can't use items in battle, and if a Pokemon faints, it is dead. And this one booster pack contains the only Pokemon I'm allowed to use for the entire run. Sound difficult? Absolutely. Impossible? Well, let's find out. I redeemed the code card from my booster pack in Pokemon TCG Live so that we can open this pack together and see what fate has in store. First up, we get Braixen, starting with one of the starter Pokemon. That is a great sign. Next, Frogadier, 2 starters from one pack. I will take it. Octillery, unfortunately not in Legends Z-A. Pumpkaboo, I've honestly never used one before, so this could be interesting. Philippe, not a Pokemon, but I think I have an idea. Claydol, also unavailable. Tauros, not in Lumiose. Carnivine, also not in Lumiose. Emma, again, not a Pokemon, but I've got a way to make it work. And finally, Trevenant. So from this one booster pack, I somehow ended up with 2 starters and 2 ghost grass types. Not exactly the balanced team I was hoping for, but figuring out how best to make use of limited resources is kind of the whole point of this challenge. So arriving in Lumiose, I am immediately greeted by a Pancham, who steals my luggage. After chasing it halfway across the city, a trainer named Urbane catches up and offers to help. As thanks, he lets me choose my first Pokemon. Now normally this is where I would spend way too long deciding, but in a PackLock, this doesn't really matter because the only Pokemon I'm allowed to keep are the ones from my booster pack. So I grab Totodile, knowing full well that he's only here to get me through the tutorial. Urbane then gives me a quick tour of Lumiose, introducing me to the city's wild zones, before sending me off to help researcher Mabel collect 5 Pokemon for her research. Under normal circumstances, I would take this opportunity to start building my team. Instead, every Pokemon I catch is confiscated by Mabel for her research. Even Totodile. By the time the tutorial ends, I am right back where I started, with no Pokemon of my own. But with the tutorial behind me, it's time to start building that team that my booster pack promised me. My first stop is Detective Emma. Now she is completely buried under casework and asks for my help, but she refuses to let me wander Lumiose alone. And since Emma was one of the cards in my booster pack, I am counting her partner Marie as her replacement, making Emma's Marie the first official member of my PackLock team. Next, I make a quick detour to Wild Zone 5, where one of the Pokemon I pulled from my pack was Carnivine. But since this Pokemon isn't available in Legends Z-A, I go for the closest replacement instead, Bellsprout. Not exactly the intimidating grass type I was hoping for, but close enough. After helping Emma wrap up a few cases, including a giant Bunnelby, a Thunderstone for Pikachu, and recovering a stolen ring from a mischievous Sableye, I check back in. She tells me all about Mareep's evolution line, including its ability to Mega Evolve. Someday. But right now, I have a promotion match coming up, and this team just isn't ready. Luckily, my booster pack had not one, but 2 starters in it. The first is Fennekin. Now, finding her isn't hard. getting her well enough to join my team is. The local herbalist tells me that a revitalizing stick should do the trick, but they are only found deep in Wild Zone 5. After fighting my way through a swarm of angry Venipede, I finally bring one back, and Fennekin happily joins my team. Next up is Froakie. Instead of medicine, Froakie wants to race. Not one course, not two, but 3 increasingly difficult parkour courses across Lumiose's construction scaffolding. Somehow, I actually managed to beat all 3. And apparently, that's enough to earn Froakie's respect, because he decides to join the team too. So with my team finally assembled, there's only one thing left before my first promotion match: getting a challenger ticket. After battling through the battle zone, we earn our ticket, Emma's Mareep evolves into a Flaffy, and at last it is time to face Yvonne. The battle starts out exactly as I had hoped. Spritzy goes down to Carnivine, Swirlick follows, courtesy of Frogadier. And then Yvonne sends out Pavilion. Now Pavilion knows Infestation, and if that move lands, the affected Pokemon can't switch out. I dodged the first one by swapping into Emma's Scream. A Thunder Shock hits hard, even through a light screen, but then I get greedy. I mistime the next Infestation, and it connects. Now, Emma's Mareep is trapped. No switching, no backup plan, just one Pokemon against Yvonne's ace. Thankfully, Emma's Mareep hangs on long enough to fire one final Thunder Shock, and Pavilion goes down. My first promotion match is won. Reaching rank X also brings 2 more rewards. Fennekin evolves into a Braixen, and Froakie evolves into Frogadier. With these 2 evolutions under our belt, it's time to see what my team could really do. Our first test comes against teammate Naveen. A Braixen wastes no time making quick work of his Spinarak, while Frogadier handled Sableye without too much trouble. Scraggy puts up more of a fight than I expected, forcing me to switch into Carnivine to finish the job. But the important thing is this: the team works. Not long after, I get a notification for my next promotion match against Zavi. While waiting for the battle zones to open, I spend the rest of the day exploring Lumiose, picking up a few new moves, before earning another challenger ticket and tracking him down. Zavi leads with Venipede, and Braixen makes short work of it. Kadabra is a little trickier since I don't really have a great answer for psychic types yet, but Braixen has just enough firepower to push through. Roselia is another easy matchup, although Braixen's starting to wear down, so I switch into Emma's Mareep before things get too risky. The Roselia falls to residual damage anyway, leaving only Zavi's ace, Furfrou. Frogadier gets things started, but Furfrou hits back much harder than I expected. Rather than risk losing one of my strongest Pokemon this early in the run, I pivot to Carnivine to finish the battle with a fresh teammate. Zavi goes down. The promotion match is ours. Reaching rank W also means one more upgrade for the team, as Carnivine evolves into a Weepinbell. The next morning, AZ suggests that it's time to get to know my teammates a little better. And apparently their preferred method is Pokemon battles. Lida leads with Launcher, and Emma's Mareep has no trouble putting its electric type into good use. Vanillite follows, giving Braixen an easy matchup with her fire attacks, and Carnivine wrapped things up against Staryu. I'm not entirely sure what I learned from that battle, other than that my next promotion match would be against Rintaro. This one turns out to be surprisingly straightforward. Rintaro's entire team revolves around the elemental monkeys. Braixen handles Simisafe, Frogadier answers Simisear, and Carnivine finishes off Simi 4. You know, it's kind of amazing how easy these promotion matches can be when you have all of the right answers. But with another promotion match behind me, I head back out into Lumiose, only to spot a strange little Pokemon darting through the streets. Curiosity gets the better of me, and I decide to follow it. It ends up leading me across the rooftops of Lumiose, where we find an Absol. Or at least, it was an Absol. A strange energy surrounds it, and right in front of me, it Mega Evolves. Suddenly, this isn't just your normal battle anymore. AZ arrives and sends in his Lucario, lending me his Mega Ring so that we can fight back together. After Mega Evolving Lucario ourselves, we're finally able to bring the Rogue Mega Absol down. Unfortunately, neither Lucario nor Absol came in my booster pack, so once this tutorial battle is over, we'll never see these two again. The next morning, Urbane tells me that Vinny wants to meet at Quasartico HQ, but he can wait. The news report says that another section of Lumiose has been converted into a wild zone, and that means another chance to improve my team. Now, one of the cards in my booster pack was Claydol, but since Claydol isn't available in Legends Z-A, I need another replacement. Now, Carbink has completely different typing, but they have the same base stat total, they're both bulky defensive Pokemon, and they both kind of look like spinning tops. So, close enough for me. When I finally meet Vinny, he reveals that he witnessed the Rogue Mega Absol attack, and with more Rogue Megas appearing across Lumiose, he wants my help investigating them. First, though, I have to prove that I can handle myself, which means another promotion match. After earning my challenger ticket, Emma's Mareep evolved into an Ampharos just in time for our showdown. Now, Vinny opens with Houndoom, which is exactly why I brought water types like Frogadier. Sharpedo comes out next, but Emma's Mareep makes quick work of it with his electric attacks. Gregson handles Baneri well enough, which leaves only Vinny's ace, Mega Drampa. Now, this is the first battle where I can't rely on type matchups alone. So instead, I made a plan. Carbink, my Claydol, opens with Light Screen to cut Mega Drampa's strongest attack in half. But Dazzling Gleam gives me reliable super effective damage, and because Twister can't touch fairy types, the only move I really have to respect is Icy Wind. From there, it's just a matter of surviving until my next cooldown. Ultimately, my strategy pays off, and Mega Drampa finally goes down, earning us a promotion all the way up to rank F, skipping at least half the alphabet. Yeah, this walk in the park that we've been having, I have a feeling it just turned into Jurassic Park. But now that I've proven I can handle myself, Vinny finally explains what's been happening around Lumiose. A mysterious energy called Mega Power has begun building throughout the city, causing wild Pokemon to undergo rogue Mega Evolutions. The ZA Battle Royale isn't just a tournament, it's a recruiting program, and apparently, I'm hired. Almost immediately, reports start coming in from all over the city. A rogue Mega Slowbro near the Stone Emporium, a Mega Camerupt on the rooftops, and a Mega Victory Bell threatening another district. Before heading out, Lita suggests I stop by the Stone Emporium to stock up on Mega Stones. While I'm there, I notice something even more useful. A Leaf Stone. A Carnivine snatches it from my hand, and before I know it, evolves into Victory Bell. Our first stop is Mega Slowbro. Its attacks aren't especially dangerous, but its massive defensive makes this fight drag on. Eventually, though, Victory Bell gets worn down, forcing Emma's Mareep to come in and finish the job with electric attack. Next is Mega Camera, and this one is much more dangerous. Between Frogadier's water attacks and Dig, I have all the tools that I need. I just have to avoid getting blown up long enough to use them. Somehow, though, we make it work. And finally, Mega Victory Bell. A Breaksin turns out to be the perfect answer. Fire Spin lets me keep dealing damage while I focus on dodging poison puddles and bullet seeds, and before long, another Rogue Mega is safely under control. As a reward, I receive Victory Bell's Mega Stone, which Carnivine also snatches up immediately. On the way back to Hotel Z, I am suddenly challenged by none other than Zygarde himself. After a quick battle, and my first chance to Mega Evolve Carnivine, Zygarde decides that I have earned his most prized possession. A rock. Not exactly what I was expecting, but it meant a lot to him, so I'll take good care of it. Now, it's not long before I receive notification for my next promotion match. Canary, Naveen's favorite streamer. He is absolutely horrified. In fact, he refuses to tell me anything about her unless I beat him in a Pokemon battle first. Fortunately, this one isn't too difficult. Fire, beat, bug. The rest, well, we've pretty much already figured it out. With his pride thoroughly wounded, Naveen finally agrees to help. He tells us the only way to meet Canary is by competing in her Quiz Whiz challenge. But first, I'm gonna need another challenger ticket. Along the way, Breaksin evolves into a Delphox, and Frogadier becomes Greninja. And with the challenger ticket secured, Naveen escorts me to the Quiz Whiz challenge. Unfortunately, there's one question even he can't answer. How do you beat an electric-type specialist without any ground types? You see, electric Pokemon only have one weakness, and that's ground attacks. And my PackLokke team doesn't have a single ground type in it. Now, one of Canary's biggest fans agrees to a practice battle, and he's convinced it'll be an easy win. And you know what? He's not wrong. Because after teaching Emma's Marie the Dig attack, I finally have a super effective attack. And thanks to its electric typing, it resists incoming electric types. And Emma's Marie manages to sweep his entire team. So for the first time, I actually have a plan. On the way to my promotion match, however, Tarragon stops me with a confession. Well, almost. Apparently, I have to beat him before he'll tell me. A Frogadier tears through Hippowdon and Diggersby with water attacks before Mega Excadrill enters the fight. Rather than trying to trade blows, I let Dig dodge the X-Scissor before catching Excadrill with a brick break as it tries to burrow underground itself. Only then does Tarragon finally confess that he's been using a holocaster to impersonate Canary at all of her public appearances. Meaning my real promotion match is just getting started. Heliolisk falls exactly the way I hoped it would, Dig into Brick Break. Breaksin wins a hard-fought battle against Ampharos, and Carnivine handles Stunfisk rather easily, which leaves only Canary's ace, Mega Electrox. I open with Claydol. A light screen buys me precious breathing room before I switch into Emma's Marine. One Dig lands, but it's not enough. I use Charge, Cotton Guard, anything I can do to stay alive while Dig comes off cooldown. And finally, one last chance. I click Dig and pray. This time, it's enough. And Mega Electros goes down. And with it, our promotion to rank E. I barely have time to enjoy my promotion before Vinny calls again. 3 more Rogue Megas have shown up around Lumiose, and apparently we've become his favorite cleanup crew. Mega Beedrill is our first stop. The Braixen has all the right type matchups, but that's only half the battle. Between pin missile barrages and swarms of wild Pokemon getting in the way, the real challenge is simply staying alive long enough to keep the pressure on. Eventually, though, Beedrill does go down. On the way to our next assignment, I finally recruit another member of my PackLocke team. Now, Octillery isn't available in Lumiose, but Launcher is. Special attacking octopus, special attacking crab, they both live in the ocean. Close enough for me. When we get to Mega Howlucha, he proves much more manageable. Emma's Mareep shrugs off most of the incoming damage, and I discover that interrupting Howlucha while it's charging up Mega Energy completely shuts down its strongest attack. After that, it's just a matter of wearing it down. And then comes Mega Banette. And this fight is absolute chaos. Shadow clones fill the arena, each launching real attacks. But the trick is realizing that I don't have to fight the clones at all. By focusing only on the real Banette and returning Frogadier to his Pokeball whenever things get too hectic, I eventually outlast one of the toughest Rogue Megas yet. And just as we're catching our breath, my ZA Royale app notifies me of my next promotion match against Ivor. Unfortunately, Ivor has a bigger problem. His sister Gwyn has disappeared. Instead of battling, we head straight to Detective Emma, who traces Gwyn's last known location to race scene construction. The only problem? Canary is still miffed and wants a rematch. Thankfully, I've already solved this puzzle once. This time I refined my strategy by having Carnivine spread Toxic across the arena before Claydol sets up Light Streak. And then Emma's Mareep just needs to stall long enough for the poison to finish Mega Electros without nearly as much panic as last time. With Canary pacified, she points us towards a Clawitzer fountain leading into Lumiose's sewers. Emma's investigation quickly hits a locked gate. Her solution? Catch a nearby Klefki. And when that doesn't work, Ivor simply punches the door straight off its hinges. Deep beneath the city, we finally find Gwyn. Unfortunately, she has absolutely no interest in being rescued. After defeating her team and making surprisingly quick work of her partner Pokemon Mega Chandelure, she finally explains herself. You see, she wasn't hiding from everyone else, she was hiding from Ivor. Apparently, he destroys everything he touches, including her Rotom phone. With the mystery solved, and having Gwyn's blessing, there is nothing left standing between me and my promotion match. Ivor opens up with Heracross, but Octillery's newly learned Bounce gives me exactly the flying type answer I need. Frogadier handles Medicham, Claydol deals with the champ, leaving only Mega Phalanx. This time, I stick with what's been working. Carnivine poisons the battlefield, surviving just long enough to let Toxic take over. And we watch as Ivor's ace slowly runs out of options. With Mega Phalanx finally down, I'm promoted to rank D. We wake up the next morning to find Urbane missing. Given how much money he borrowed making those Hotel Z commercials, that's probably not a good sign. Especially when I immediately get a call from the Rust Syndicate, the local mob. Apparently, it's in my best interest to stop by their headquarters. But first, there are still a couple Pokemon from my booster pack waiting to be recruited, and some new Wild Zones that have just opened up. Now, Wild Zone 15 is home to Pumpkaboo. And over in Wild Zone 13, I finally pick up Phantom, which evolves into the Trevenant from my pack, which I just realized I could have recruited before my last promotion match. Oops. Unfortunately, both of these Pokemon only evolve through trading with a friend, which, being a basement-dwelling shut-in, I don't have. Luckily, they both have alpha forms wandering around their respective wild zones, so I can simply recruit fully evolved Gourgeist and Trevenant instead. And with my team finally complete, it is time to pay the Rust Syndicate a visit. The guards outside aren't exactly eager to let me in. Fortunately for me, they don't get a vote. After battling my way through the grunts, the head of security himself steps in. Philippe. He tells me to get lost. So I make a bet. If he beats me, I'll leave. If I win, not only does he take me to see the boss, but I get to keep one of his Pokemon. Now, his steel types make Braixen the obvious lead, quickly taking down his first two Pokemon. Then comes Mega Skarmory, and this thing is fast. Braixen can't safely stay in, so I use the switch to dodge the drill run, bringing in Emma's Marine. Its bulk buys enough time to charge up a powered thunder attack, and it lands, but Skarmory is still standing. A second drill run forces Emma's Mareep out of the fight before Night Slash can finish the job, which gives Braixen just enough of an opening. One final fire attack, and Mega Skarmory finally goes down. Impressed, Philippe keeps his word. He hands over his Sizer before escorting me inside to meet Corbeau. There, I finally learn what happened to Urbane. His debt has grown to well over $1 million Pokédollars. Thankfully, though, Corbeau isn't asking us to pay it all back. Instead, he wants to make a deal. Help the Rust Syndicate with a few jobs around Lumiose, and he'll forgive all of the accumulated interest. Before we can get started, though, Urbane rushes back into the hotel with another message from Vinny. 3 more Rogue Megas have appeared across Lumiose. Looks like we've got another job to do. Mega Mawile is first, and Braixen's fire attacks make quick work of the matchup. And whenever Mawile retreats outside of the arena to bombard me with magical projectiles, I simply recall Braixen, dodge the barrage, and get right back to setting it on fire. Next comes Mega Barbaracle. A Carnivine has the perfect matchup thanks to Barbaracle's quadruple grass weakness. But the real trick is interrupting it while it's charging Mega Energy. A well-timed plus move cancels its strongest attack before they can even happen. Carnivine eventually gets worn down though, but Pumpkaboo is more than happy to finish the job. Before I can track down the final Rogue Mega, Wynn decides she wants a rematch. But I've already solved that puzzle too. A few minutes later, I'm back on the trail of the final outbreak, Mega Ampharos. Normally, electric types only fear ground attacks, but Mega Ampharos gains the Dragon type, which opens up new weaknesses to both Ice and Fairy. So Octillery and Claydol suddenly have answers. Whenever Ampharos charges up Mega Energy, it fills the battlefield with electrified puddles before detonating the entire area with lightning. Rather than trying to tank the damage, I simply recall my Pokemon until the storm passes, and then it's back to chipping away at its health. Eventually, Mega Ampharos falls, leaving behind Ampharosite, which means that Emma's Mareep can finally unlock its own Mega Evolution. Back at Hotel Z, Corbeau finally calls in that favor I owe him. Apparently, I've just become the Rust Syndicate's newest errand boy. Our first stop is a house in Blue District where the new owner can't move in because it's been overrun by a gang of Gengar. Seems like the perfect opportunity to try out Philippe's Sizer. Between its steel typing and wide sweeping attacks like Brutal Swing, it doesn't take long to clear the house out. One job down. The next assignment sounds a little more suspicious. Corbeau wants me to deal with some undesirable elements down by the river. Turns out these undesirable elements are Mega Sharks. After clearing the infestation from the nearby sewers, Corbeau is already waiting with another assignment. This time, a pair of self-proclaimed Pokemon experts are harassing a group of kids over how they should be battled. It seems like they could use a little practical demonstration instead. Francois's Dragon types don't appreciate Claydol's Fairy attacks, and Vivica's Fairy types don't enjoy meeting Philippe Sizer's Steel moves. As we're wrapping things up, shouting breaks out nearby. A crowd has cornered Urbane and the president of Quasartico, and when I step in to figure out what's happening, they decide that I'm a problem too. Between Corbeau's Scolipede and Philippe Sizer, the fight is over almost as quickly as it starts. Afterward, Corbeau invites me back to his office. Apparently, all these little jobs weren't just about helping the Rust Syndicate. He was seeing how I handled myself. And satisfied with what he's seen, Corbeau agrees to forgive all the interest on Urbane's loan. But he has one final request. A battle. And not just any battle, but my next promotion match. Now, Corbeau opens with Arbok, and I don't have a perfect answer, but Frogadier's Dig does give me the advantage I need. Next comes Gyarados. 4 times weak to Electric, Emma's Mareep practically laughs this one off. Roserade proves a little bit more stubborn though. Even though Sizer has the type advantage, he doesn't have quite enough damage. But one Swords Dance later, and that problem solves itself. Which leaves only Corbeau's ace, Mega Scolipede. Now, Braixen has been waiting for exactly this matchup. A barrage of boosted Fire Plus moves leaves Mega Scolipede with nowhere to run, earning me another promotion, Rank C. And apparently, Corbeau wasn't exaggerating. Later that evening, he drops by Hotel Z and pays Urbane enough money to wipe out the rest of his debt. Looks like helping the local mob actually paid off, which is probably not the life lesson we should take away from this. With Urbane's debt cleared and another promotion match behind me, Hotel Z really has something to celebrate, so we decide to go out to eat. But before we can even order, Labane arrives from the Society of Battle Connoisseurs. Not with an invitation, but a summons. Jacinthe is hosting a grand tournament in her own honor. But before things can get rolling, Urbane gets another call from Vinny. 3 more Rogue Megas have been spotted across Lumiose. Looks like the tournament will have to wait. Our first stop is Mega Frostlass. Now, the real danger isn't Frostlass himself, it's the massive blizzard that she channels. Thankfully, she also creates giant ice pillars around the arena, giving me somewhere to hide until the storm passes. Once it's safe, Philippe Sizer gets the chance to show off. I Mega Evolve him using the stone I picked up from the Stormatorium, and Steel attacks make short work of the Ice type. Jacinthe appears the moment the battle ends to remind me that she's still waiting. But there's still 2 Rogue Megas left. Mega Altaria is next. When it Mega Evolves, it gains the Fairy type, which also means that it gains a brand new weakness to Steel attacks. Mega Sizer wastes absolutely no time taking advantage of that. The only real danger comes from the tornadoes that Altaria fills the arena with. So whenever they appear, I simply recall Felipe Sizer until it is safe to continue attacking, eventually winning the day. Once again, Jacinth pops in as soon as the battle is over. I'm beginning to think she's following me. One last rogue Mega stands between me and her tournament. Mega Venusaur. Braixen has exactly the matchup I'm looking for, blasting away with fire attacks while I dodge solar beams and pull her back whenever Venusaur starts siphoning health from the surrounding brambles. And everything is going perfectly. Until I realize that Venusaur isn't just a grass type. It's poison, too. One sludge wave later, Braixen is badly poisoned and losing health every second. She won't survive long enough to finish this fight. So I take a quick look at my team, and Carnivine's poison typing will keep him safe from the same fate. And after Mega Evolving, he's bulky enough to slug it out with Venusaur until its enormous health pool finally runs dry. Sure enough, Jacinth appears yet again. She congratulates me on saving Lumiose, and then immediately reminds me that I'm late for her tournament. But it's evening, the sun's going down, and we decide that we've earned a good night's sleep before dealing with whatever insanity she has planned. Apparently, Jacinth has other ideas. The moment we arrive back at Hotel Z, the entire building is transformed into a battle zone. I guess I'll be there in the morning wasn't an acceptable compromise. Trainer after trainer comes pouring through the hotel. Livia's steel types melt to break the fire attack. Gerald dragons fall to Claydol's fairy moves. And finally, Labane herself steps in. Noivern drops to Octillery's Ice Beam. Tyrantrum follows shortly after. Garchomp barely survives long enough to remind me why ice coverage is so valuable, leaving only her ace, Mega Dragalge. Braixen finishes the job with Mega Boosted Psychic attacks, shattering the battle zone once and for all. As the dust settles, my ZA Royale app buzzes. Somehow, Jacinth has hacked the entire promotion system and officially made herself my next promotion match. Honestly, I'm not even surprised anymore. When I arrive at her tournament, I quickly realize that I'm not just fighting Jacinth. First, I have to earn my way through her entire bracket. Canary, done. Ivor, done. Corbeau, done. And finally, as I'm about to put Jacinth in her place, Zygarde crashes the party. Claydol turns out to be exactly what I need here. Iron Defense and Light Screen make him nearly impossible to break, while Fairy attacks slowly chip away at Zygarde's health. A few well-timed plus moves finally push the battle over the edge. L shows up and gives a speech about becoming worthy of fighting alongside Zygarde, and to think about what his presence here in Lumiose means. But honestly, I'm just here for my promotion match. Jacinth opens up with Carbon, and Carnivine immediately buries it under grass attack. Mawile falls just as quickly to break his fire attacks, and Auroras tries to stall with Protect, but Octillery eventually powers through with both fighting and water moves. Gardevoir is where my strategy changes. Rather than trying to brute force my way through, Claydol comes in simply to set up Light Screen before handing the fight over to Trevenant, whose ghost attacks cleanly finish the job, which leaves only Jacinth's ace, Mega Clefable. Now since its Mega Evolution gains the Fairy type, Philippe's Mega Scissor has exactly the answer I need. One Steel Assault later, and rank B is finally mine. The next morning, Vinny calls everyone back to Quasartico HQ. On the way, I noticed the area that we fought Mega Venusaur has become a brand new wild zone. And while Tauros may not exist in Lumiose, Kangaskhan is right here. I mean, look, it's big, it's angry, it's normal type, it works for me. And with my final team member recruited, we arrive at Quasartico, where the president finally explains what's been happening. Prism Tower has been leaking mega energy. It's drawing Pokemon into Lumiose, creating new wild zones, and pushing more and more Pokemon into rogue mega evolutions. And as if on cue, Vinny interrupts our briefing. 3 more rogue megas have appeared. Looks like we're not done saving Lumiose just yet. Mega Dragonite is first, and normally Dragonite is weak to ice, but its Mega Evolution gains the Flying type, turning that into a quadruple weakness, which makes Octillery's Ice Beam the perfect answer. The fight itself, however, is another story. This Dragonite constantly chases me around the arena with tornadoes while filling the battlefield with lightning. Octillery starts the fight strong, but between the constant chip damage and Dragonite's relentless pressure, he eventually has to come out. And that's when Claydol takes over. Iron Defense and Light Screen let him shrug off almost everything Dragonite throws at him, while Fairy attacks slowly wear it down. Halfway through the fight though, Dragonite changes tactics. Instead of flooding the arena, he starts charging up one gigantic laser. And apparently, if you deal enough damage during the charge-up, you can interrupt it. But I couldn't. Fortunately, though, Pokeballs are apparently stronger than orbital lasers, so I simply recall Claydol until the attack finishes, before sending him back out to finish the job. 1 rogue Mega down. Next up, Mega Tyranitar. And this one immediately presents a problem. You see, it's 4 times weak to fighting, but I don't have any fighting types. Thankfully though, Kangaskhan may be pretending to be Tauros with the PackLocke, but she still learned plenty of fighting moves. The fight starts off pretty comfortable. Whenever Tyranitar fills the arena with Stone Edge or lays down sand traps, I simply pull my Tauros back until things calm down before jumping back into the fight. But once half his health is gone, things get significantly worse. Now Tyranitar adds earthquakes and a massive sandstorm that constantly damages anything standing close enough to fight it. So instead of trying to brute force it, I rotate through Octillery and Frogadier to keep dealing ranged damage while waiting for another opening. Eventually Tyranitar gets low enough that I feel I can send Tauros back out to finish off what she started. And just like that, only 1 rogue remains. Unfortunately, Philippe has other plans. You see, Corbeau ordered him to keep everyone away from the outbreak, and those orders didn't make exceptions. So if I want to get to that last rogue Mega, I have to beat the head of security first. Steelix folds to Octillery's water attacks. Sizer immediately regrets standing in front of Drakeson. Aggron discovers that Tauros hits a lot harder than she looks, leaving only Mega Skarmory. This time, though, I have my own Mega Electric type. Emma's Mareep dodges Drill Run on the switch-in, charges up a mega-powered Thunderbolt, and blasts Skarmory straight out of the sky. With Philippe finally out of the way, I can get back to the actual emergency. Mega Skarmory. Electric attacks make Emma's Mareep the obvious lead, shredding huge chunks of Starmie's health whenever there's an opening. The only real danger comes when it starts sprinting around the arena, firing water beams in every direction. Whenever that happens, I simply recall Emma's Mareep until things settle down. Even so, the chip damage eventually starts adding up. Rather than risk losing him, I hand the fight over to Pumpkaboo, whose grass attacks finish off the final rogue Mega. So now with Lumiose safe for at least another 10 minutes, we finally head back to Hotel Z. Waiting for me is another notification from the ZA Royale app. My final promotion match against somebody named Grisham. Problem is, nobody seems to know who Grisham actually is. Fortunately, I know exactly who to ask. Emma. After all, she's basically Lumiose's missing persons expert. Unfortunately, she decides that I need to earn this information first. Her Ampharos falls to Trevenant's dig attacks, Mawile can't stand up to Octillery, Lopunny discovers that Tauros punches just as hard as she does, and Lucario melts in front of Frakes, leaving only Mega Malamar, which just so happens to be 4 times weak to bug attacks. A Mega Sizer happily demonstrates exactly what that looks like. Satisfied that I can handle whatever comes next, Emma finally gives me Grisham's location. A small food truck that we've been eating at this entire game, called Café Nouveau. Grisham admits the restaurant is nothing more than cover for the Team Flare Nouveau, and offers to explain everything if I just meet him somewhere a little more private, which is definitely not the setup for an ambush. Naturally, I agree to come. But before Grisham can explain anything, one of his followers, Grizel, attacks. A Claydol handles Talonflame, Octillery washes away Camerupt, Emma's Mareep drops Aerodactyl from the sky, and Frakes incinerates Metagross. And Frogadier uses Mega Boosted Water attacks to put out Mega Pyroar's flames for good. Only then does Grisham finally tell me why any of this has been happening. You see, 5 years ago, the leader of Team Flare, Lysander, fired the ultimate weapon. But according to Grisham, the real blame belongs to AZ. After all, he's the one who built it. Now, I'm not exactly ready to take Team Flare's word for it, so I head into the abandoned Lysander labs myself. After restoring power to the facility, I uncover recordings left behind by Lysander himself. AZ didn't just build the ultimate weapon. He also built another machine hidden inside Prism Tower, one that only his Floette could ever activate. But when the ultimate weapon fired, that second machine woke up as well, and it hasn't stopped leaking Mega Energy ever since. And that's the reason Lumiose is overflowing with Wild Zones, and that's the reason Rogue Megas keep appearing. And if nothing changes, eventually the entire city will drown in Mega Energy. Grisham believes there's only one solution. Hand over AZ's Floette, and Team Flare Nouveau will save Lumiose themselves. I have a counter-proposal. If I beat Grisham, then I become the strongest Mega Trainer in Lumiose, and I'll just save the city myself. His Pangoro comes out first. A perfectly timed Protect blocks Crunch before Braixen answers with Dazzling. His Malamar meets the same fate as Emma's before him, Mega Sizer. Pyroar gets extinguished by Frogadier, and Tyranitar falls to Octillery's fighting cover. Salamence can't withstand Emma's Mareep's dragon attacks, leaving only Grisham's ace, Mega Charizard X. Fortunately, Claydol has been carrying rock attacks this entire game for a moment exactly like this. One final barrage buries Charizard, wins the battle, and rank A is finally mine. Now, with the climb to the top of ZA Royale finished, we head back to Hotel Z to celebrate. Only for Urbane to casually announce that he's reached rank A today too. Well, gee, thanks for stealing my thunder. Before anyone can decide who deserves congratulations first, the entire city shakes. Outside, Prism Tower is glowing with mega energy. AZ immediately recognizes what's happening. The machine hidden inside the tower, Ange, is losing control. If it's not stopped, that mega energy will spread across Lumiose, sending every Pokemon in the city rogue. As if on cue, Vinny calls. We need to get to Prism Tower. Immediately. When we arrive, though, we run into one small problem. Apparently, there can only be one strongest Mega Trainer. And with both Urbane and I sitting at rank A, there's only one way to settle this. Urbane opens up by stacking Reflect and Light Screen with Meowstic, but not if Frogadier has anything to say about it. Brick Break tears down both barriers before Night Slash finishes the job. Now, Goodra tries to hide behind its incredible bolt, but without those screens, Emma's Mareep's dragon attacks eventually break through. Avalugg never really gets the chance to play the game once Breakthrough shows up. And Emboar lands a Thunder Punch into Octillery's Protect before immediately eating a Hydro Pump in return. Manectric gives me the most trouble in the entire fight. You see, without a ground type, I lean on Claydol's defenses instead, setting up Light Screen and slowly wearing it down, leaving only Urbane's ace, Mega Meganium. Fortunately, Carnivine has the exact answer I need, and one Mega Boosted Poison Jab later, the answer is pretty clear. I'm the strongest Mega Trainer in Lumiose. Unfortunately, Urbane doesn't seem particularly interested in the results. He grabs AZ's Floette anyway and charges straight into Prism Tower. Before we even know what's happening, it's too late. Floette has begun absorbing the overflowing Mega Energy, but there's simply too much. The entire tower erupts. Mega Energy floods across Lumiose. Rogue Pokemon begin appearing everywhere. And on the opposite side of the city, Zygarde is waiting. When I finally reach him, so does the last Zygarde cell he needs, and at last he can reach his complete form. Together we launch one final assault on Ange. The tower protects itself by growing enormous flowers around its base, and as long as they're alive, Zygarde can't get close enough to attack. Fortunately, the battlefield is littered with broken debris. Perfect cover. I hide behind the rubble while Emma's Mareep fires thunder attacks over the top, letting me destroy the flowers without ever really exposing myself. Once both flowers are gone, Zygarde launches a massive attack at the tower with enough force to shake the entire city. Phase 2 goes much the same way. Hide, destroy the flowers, create another opening, watch Zygarde tear another chunk out of Ange. And then comes Phase 3, where the flowers stop playing fair. Now they unleash attacks that ignore my cover completely. Before I can react, Emma's Mareep goes down. Claydol tries to wall the damage with Iron Defense and Light Screen, but even that's not enough. And then, Braixen falls too. After carrying me through most of this PackLocke, even she is gone. Half my team disappears in a matter of minutes, and at this point, I don't really have any clever strategy left. Just Carnivine. His Leech Life Plus attacks become the only thing keeping him alive, as I slowly grind through the flowers one hit at a time. Every so often, Ange unleashes Light of Ruin across the battlefield, and Zygarde dives in front of me every single time to block it, buying me just enough space to keep fighting. Eventually, the final flower falls. Ange realizes it's about to lose, so it pours every last bit of Mega Energy into one final Light of Ruin, an attack powerful enough to wipe Lumiose completely off the map. Then, the strange stone that Zygarde handed me that very first time we met begins to glow. I throw it towards him. His Mega Stone. Zygarde transforms once more, unleashing Nihil Light directly into Ange's Light of Ruin. The two beams collide. The Mega Energy disperses. And Lumiose is saved. So, can one booster pack beat Pokemon Legends Z-A? Well, not exactly. You see, this particular PackLocke had a huge problem. You see, half the Pokemon in my pack simply don't exist in Lumiose. Without replacements from the support cards or the closest equivalents, I would have spent the entire game with only 4 Pokemon. And even Braixen and Frogadier can't carry that hard. But as an overall challenge, I actually think it works remarkably well. Every new encounter felt meaningful, every promotion match asked a different question, and every Rogue Mega was less about raw power and more about just figuring out the puzzle. And that's exactly why I love doing these PackLocks. It's not just about building the perfect team. It's about solving nearly impossible problems with whatever random Pokemon you happen to have on hand. Now, if you want to try one of these yourself, go to your local game store, grab a booster pack from your favorite Pokemon set, and see how far your team can make it through the game. And down there in that comments section, let me know what you pulled and how badly it went. And if you enjoyed this PackLocke, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for the next one. And thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next challenge.